Good evening. This is Brian Shannon from Alpha Trends Blogspot. It is Thursday night, July 20th, 2006, and I've got the S&P 500 spider up here on the screen right now. Obviously, today the market reversed most of the gains from yesterday. The S&P wasn't as bad as Nasdaq. We'll look at that in a moment, but the S&P gave back a good portion of its gains today, and as it rallied up to that prior level of support at 126. A little higher than 126 it rallied up to, and then it's, now pulling back from that level. We could put some Fibonacci on here. I'm not sure that we would do it just for anything other than kind of an interest of how far it's pulled back. Not quite a third of it yet. 50% retracement does bring it down to the rising 5-day moving average. So it's not as bad as the NASDAQ 100 by any means. However, it is still, today today's trading did create a series of lower highs and lower lows in here. So we've got to be very defensive once again. Obviously, the market remains in this bear market. It found the resistance where it was supposed to with this prior support, which turned into resistance at the 200-day moving average and the 50-day moving average. Looking at the Qs right here. A lot worse, and we kind of figured that anyways. This market didn't even have the power to breach its 10-day moving average yesterday. So looking at the 10-minute time frame on the NASDAQ 100, we can see that it's a lot worse. And in fact, if we look at how much of the rally of the last 2 days it's given back, it's come down right to the 2/3 retracement. So anything beyond that is considered a failure. And if you're looking at Google to save the day tomorrow, Google finished the regular session at 387, and when we look at the tick chart, we can see here that it closed at the end of extended hour trading at 389.90. So very feeble rally in Google. Doesn't have the power to save the day by any means tomorrow. And Google could get hit pretty hard here, I think. If the buyers don't show up quickly in Google, then I think we've got a chance of seeing this stock drop pretty good based on it breaking this trend line that's been holding it up for a better part of a couple of years here. So we've got that trend line and we've got these lower highs. So it's coming to the apex quickly of this symmetrical triangle. Now, a symmetrical triangle is typically a continuation pattern, but a lot of times it will act as reversal as well. So just keep on your toes here. Things could get pretty ugly in Google, and I think for that matter, that could really hurt the overall market as well. But it came right down to the trend line there as well as the 200-day moving average. And I'm talking a little bit more about the overall market and Google and that sort of thing, because tomorrow we've got options expiration as well, and I don't have a lot of good ideas here today. I've got a couple ideas, but first one we'll look at is a NASDAQ stock, symbol KNOL, and I don't know how you pronounce it, Knology maybe. We'll call it Knology Incorporated, KNOLOGY. Beautiful uptrend here on the weekly time frame. Daily we can see it's been consolidating. Got a nice volume bump in here a couple days ago. It consolidated on light volume. Last 2 days it's had some big volume and it's starting to move higher again. So what I want to see happening here is I want to see Knology get above this $9.51 level. So we want to buy the stock at $9.52. We'll put our stop below that 5-day moving average at 31 cents. So that low is 31 cents rather. So we'll put our stop at 29 cents. So we're going to buy it at 51 cents, put our stop at 29 cents. And I think the stock has the ability perhaps to, put in another move about up to the $11 level or so. So KNOL is that idea. MROI, this is one I was considering buying calls for today. I didn't buy the calls in here, but this company reported 27 cents versus estimates of 22 cents. They increased their revenues up 13% nicely. So the stock hadn't moved in the aftermarket, at least not yet. So we'll see what happens in here with this stock, but it's got a pretty constructive pattern. As long as it holds above this level here of 1925, that's where our stop will go, and we want to buy it within 25 cents of there. So we want to buy it between 1950 and 1927 or so. Again, I'm not thrilled about this idea, but I wanted to give you a couple ideas for potential ideas for the long side. Anderson's Incorporated, symbol ANDE. This is a ethanol play, and the ethanol plays I think are uh, just way overdone, and really think you've got a lot of hot money trapped in there, and things could go from bad to a lot worse here pretty quickly. It's made these lower highs and lower lows in here. I think that if we could see it test this area here near 35, 36, that'd be a great move from this level. So we want to look to sell this stock short, I think, on a slight rally up towards this 40 level, and then as soon as it starts to break back down one of these types of moves, we want to sell it short with a risk of about 35 cents, and we'll look for a downward target somewhere. Let's just call this our first target right here. That looks like a pretty good area, and that's $37.20. So maybe a couple dollars of downside in here. And if you look at this hourly time frame, it's kind of looking like a head and shoulders pattern, with this being the neckline. So just about to break, or maybe just broke that neckline at 40. The height of this is 47, so that would give us a target way down at 33. Maybe it's a candidate for some puts. I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to you. Trimble navigation. First of all, Garmin is starting to break down a little bit here. Garmin's not bearish by any means, but it's the 50-day moving average is still advancing. I've been starting to see some people are looking at Garmin starting to cut their prices on some of the items, and Trimble is their main competitor, symbol TRMB. So when we look at Trimble, it's in worse shape technically than Garmin. And looking at that weekly time frame, it's made that lower high. Now I think on the daily time frame, we're seeing just a little bit of consolidation here before it drops again. So what I'd like to see in Trimble is for a move below these lows here, and it looks like about $43 a share. Let's just make sure, 43.02. So let's sell it short below $43 a share. It's nice to see the 5-day moving average declining like that. We'll sell it short below 43, put our stop up here at about 43.5, and I think you could see a move down at least to this level near 41.50. This one I like, maybe even further move down towards that 200-day moving average, just under the $40 level. Last stock we'll look at is Whole Foods Market, and this is one I've been bearish on for about a month or so really, and haven't mentioned it much lately. But on the weekly time frame, we can see that it's broken below some important support in here, and talk again about a head and shoulders. This could go into the textbook of head and shoulders pattern. The height of that is 20 points, so that'd indicate a target down towards $40 a share. I'm not going to hold it that long, but let's see what happens in here when we look at a 10-minute time frame. It's starting to break down again. We've got that 5-day moving average declining. If we could see a little rally up towards 58.25 or so, and then we want to sell it short on the next breakdown, is how, if we could get another, let's say this is where it closed. Obviously it doesn't look that bad, but if we could see another one of these types of rallies and then watch it break down, I think the worst you want to risk here is about 40 cents on Whole Foods Markets. Surprised I hadn't heard anyone, nobody bought this Safeway and participated in there with me today. This was just a beautiful move, one of the better trades I've had on the long side here recently. Hopefully some of you guys made a profit in that. I haven't heard but my name again is Brian Shannon. Tomorrow we have options expiration day, so I would just say take it easy tomorrow. Don't look for anything real big. I think I'm probably going to be watching Google, and if the stock can break down, maybe I'll buy some out of the money puts and try and go for a home run trade where maybe we buy some puts at about $1 and see them go to 10. Be a nice thing to see if we could get a real meltdown in this market on options expiration day. We'll see. That's just a very speculative thought on my part, but sometimes it works out that way. So best of luck trading tomorrow, and talk to you after the close. Thanks.